November 22nd, 1963. Only hours had passed since President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. The nation remained in shock. Television networks interrupted normal programming. Radio stations provided continuous updates. Newspapers rushed out special editions. Across America, people gathered around television searching for answers. And at the center of the storm stood one man, Lee Harvey Oswald. By the evening of the assassination, Oswald was in police custody. Investigators believed they had found the man responsible for killing both President Kennedy and Dallas police officer J.D. Tippit. The evidence appeared to be growing. Witnesses placed him near critical locations. A rifle had been discovered inside the Texas school book depository. Questions were being asked faster than authorities could answer them. Yet from the moment he was arrested, Oswald maintained his innocence. He did not confess. He did not cooperate as investigators expected, and he certainly did not behave like a man admitting responsibility for one of the most significant crimes in American history. Instead, he denied everything. The atmosphere inside Dallas Police Headquarters was unlike anything most officers had ever experienced. Reporters filled hallways. Camera crews crowded every available space. Telephones rang constantly. Federal agents arrived. Politicians demanded information. Every development became national news. The pressure was immense. America wanted answers immediately, but investigations do not work that way. Facts require time. Evidence requires analysis. Witnesses require interviews. Yet the public expected certainty, and Oswald sat directly in the center of that uncertainty. Throughout his interrogations, Oswald answered questions but continued rejecting accusations. Unfortunately, one of the greatest frustrations for historians is that no complete recording of those interrogations exists. No full video, no complete audio, no comprehensive transcript. Many of the conversations were documented through notes and recollections rather than modern recording methods. That absence created problems that continue to this day. People often ask, what exactly did Oswald say? What was his explanation? Did he reveal anything important? The truth is that many details remain uncertain. We know investigators questioned him extensively. We know he denied involvement. We know he appeared calm at certain moments and irritated at others. But historians still debate aspects of those conversations. And because uncertainty exists, speculation filled the gaps. The longer Oswald remained silent regarding guilt, the more theories emerged. Some believed he was lying. Others believed he was frightened. Still others wondered whether he knew more than he was willing to reveal. The mystery deepened. Then came one of the most famous moments in the entire case. As Oswald moved through a crowded hallway surrounded by reporters, journalists shouted questions. One reporter asked whether he had killed the president. Oswald responded firmly, "No." Then he made a statement that would become immortal. He said, "I'm just a patsy." A patsy. The word immediately captured public attention. In simple terms, a patsy is someone used by others, a fall guy, a person blamed for actions they did not commit. The statement transformed public discussion almost instantly. If Oswald was telling the truth, then someone else might be involved. If he was lying, then the statement represented a desperate attempt to avoid responsibility. The problem was simple. Nobody knew which explanation was correct. And without a trial, that question would never be fully tested. Over the next 2 days, investigators continued building their case. Evidence linked Oswald to the rifle found in the Texas school book depository. Witnesses placed him inside the building. Ballistics experts began examining weapons and ammunition. Federal agencies joined the investigation. The picture appearing before authorities seemed increasingly clear, at least from their perspective. Yet outside police headquarters, skepticism was already growing. Many Americans struggled to accept the idea that a single individual could assassinate the President of the United States. The event felt too large, too significant, too shocking. Some believed a broader conspiracy must exist. Others believed Oswald had accomplices. Some suspected foreign governments. Others suspected domestic organizations. Theories multiplied rapidly, and the investigation had barely begun. The Cold War contributed heavily to public anxiety. Remember, this was 1963. The United States and Soviet Union stood locked in global competition. Only a year earlier, the Cuban Missile Crisis had nearly triggered nuclear war. People naturally wondered whether foreign governments might be involved. Was Oswald acting for the Soviets, for Cuba, for another organization entirely? Investigators examined every possibility. But before those questions could be answered, events took another extraordinary turn. November 24th arrived, 2 days after the assassination. Authorities prepared to transfer Oswald from police headquarters to the county jail. The process appeared routine. Police officers secured the area, reporters gathered, television cameras positioned themselves for live coverage. No one expected what would happen next. Across America, millions of viewers watched the transfer live. Television was still a relatively young medium. The idea that a nation could witness history in real time fascinated audiences. People turned on their televisions expecting updates. Instead, they witnessed another act of violence. As Oswald emerged surrounded by officers, a man suddenly stepped forward from the crowd. The stranger moved quickly. A handgun appeared. A shot rang out. Chaos exploded inside the basement. Police officers tackled the gunman. Reporters shouted. Cameras shook. Viewers across the country watched in disbelief. Lee Harvey Oswald had been shot, live on television. The scene felt impossible. The man accused of killing the president had now become a victim himself. Emergency personnel rushed him to Parkland Memorial Hospital, the same hospital where President Kennedy had been taken 2 days earlier. The coincidence seemed almost unreal. Doctors attempted treatment, but the wound was severe. Shortly afterward, Lee Harvey Oswald died. He was 24 years old, and with his death, one of the most important witnesses in the entire case vanished forever. The gunman who shot Oswald was quickly identified. His name was Jack Ruby, a Dallas nightclub owner, a man known locally but largely unknown nationally. Within minutes, his name became famous around the world. The immediate reaction was disbelief. How had someone reached Oswald? Was the shooting spontaneous or planned? Again, questions emerged faster than answers, and once again, uncertainty became part of the story. For investigators, Oswald's death created enormous problems. The suspect could no longer stand trial. He could no longer answer questions. He could no longer confront evidence presented against him. Many hoped the legal process would eventually reveal the truth. Now that opportunity was gone. From that moment forward, every conclusion about Oswald would depend upon evidence rather than courtroom testimony, and that evidence would become the subject of endless debate. Some people saw Oswald's death as proof of conspiracy. Others viewed it as a tragic but unrelated act. The argument continues today. What everyone agrees upon is this: the shooting of Lee Harvey Oswald dramatically changed the course of the investigation. The central suspect was dead. The nation remained traumatized, and a new mystery had emerged. Who was Jack Ruby? Why did he shoot Oswald, and did he act alone? The answers would shape the next chapter of one of the most famous investigations in modern history. In the next episode, we follow Jack Ruby, a nightclub owner who suddenly stepped into history. We examine his background, his connections, and the question that continues to divide investigators decades later. Did Jack Ruby act alone, or was there something much larger happening behind the scenes? This is Echoes of Humanity TV, youtube.com @Echoes of Humanity TV.